And so it begins.
Files accessed. Transfer of data complete. Commencing.
Ladies, gentlemen, and various forms of plant life. We are the Red Shirt Geeks.
Red Shirt Geeks!
Shooting the proton torpedoes like make us go that way.
Red Shirt Geeks!
Very bad feeling about it.
Shut up, Wesley.
Red Shirt Geeks!
Hello, my name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Red Shirt Geeks!
Hide behind the mound. Dead Barnes.
Make it so.
Red Shirt Geeks!
I'm Lars Di, the pseudo-Kiwi.
I am the illustrious Patrick M.
I'm Jason, also known as Awesome Personified.
Oh my god!
You said that last time. Seriously.
You guys said the same thing last time too.
Yeah, but we're cooler when we say it.
Yeah, we like.
You can't really be cooler than Awesome Personified. I mean,
But can awesome really be personified? I mean, are we talking like? Could you 3D print awesome? Could you? No, but you could 3D print me.
no, but you could clone me and then it would be.
Oh, cloning. Yeah, okay, like that's ever gonna happen.
Just be glad I don't break out all my titles, because I have about 30 of them.
Yeah, some
37 to be exact.
in a row. Since this is a most auspicious and magical month with an upcoming absolutely with the upcoming Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, we are in a spellcasting mood. Speaking of spellcasting,
Here we go.
I know, let's ham-fist this one all the way. Let's talk about Doctor Strange.
He's pretty
Really?
strange.
You mean a movie that 2/3 of us have actually seen already? Because I suck.
Well, I guess it's better than 3/8 of us seeing it.
I don't even know how that's possible, but I'd like to see the video of it. So for the first part, we're going to talk about the movie. A big warning, there will be spoilers in this. I've already seen and read enough spoiler reviews, so I've already spoiled it for me. Sad. But for the rest of you, you might want to skip on ahead to, 10 minutes from now, and we'll pick up the second topic.
And for those of
But
us
for the rest of you-
at home, we now know
the rest
which
of you-
1/3 didn't see the actual movie.
Yeah, that's me. I'm a sad bastard. Okay, so talk about the damn movie.
But hang on a second. Whoa, go back a second there. So, okay, let's dive a little bit deeper into this one. So 1/3 of us hasn't seen the movie. But what if you drill down a little bit deeper? What is the actual percentage of us who have seen it? Is it 2/3 of the whole? Because what if I wasn't paying attention for part of the movie because I was elsewise occupied? Would I be like 6/8?
You cut a whole lot of a popcorn bucket again, didn't you?
No, it's a plastic one. Why would I ruin it? It costs $35.
Damn, that's a lot of popcorn. I do not want to go to movies where you live.
No, it's one that you can refill as many times as you want.
Oh.
So you pay a one-off fee, and then for like 6 months you can go to the movies, and you can you basically go to the movies and you fill it up as many times as you like.
Oh, you can bring it back. That's cool.
Yeah. In fact, actually, the one we got was the Doctor Strange one, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
So,
Magical, one might say.
talking about the movie, Doctor Strange is obviously a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with Benedict Cumberbatch playing the title role of Doctor Strange. Opinions, Jason. What did you think of hearing Cumberbatch with an American accent?
Well, I think it was as awesome as hearing him with a draconic accent.
True, yeah, because he did play Smaug. So,
I mean, seeing him, I like him as an actor just from seeing, originally Sherlock, and then when I saw he was in Star Trek also, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, even better. But
Unfortunately, his character in Star Trek doesn't really exist because that's not a real movie. But the movie doesn't count. Seriously, Star Trek into bullshit can die.
yeah, that's the worst of the reboot movies. But we digress.
the only time I'd ever actually seen Doctor Strange was on the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and he wasn't there a whole lot. It was more toward the end of the series, but I always thought he's kind of cool. So I wanted to give it a try, and I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fantastic.
I'd have to say I'd give it probably out of 5 stars. I'd give it 3.5. But that's just because it's an origin story, and you got a lot of crap to shove into an origin story in like the hour. You know, it was almost just shy of 2 hours. This movie was. So there's a lot to do. You have to basically take it from nothing to where he ends up being the title character. So yeah, I mean, but I give it a solid 3.5 stars out of 5. Did thoroughly enjoy it. Loved Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, just because she creeps the crap out of me. I mean, she is so freaky. I remember the first time I saw her in Constantine as Gabriel, like,
Oh, I knew I recognized her.
yeah, I mean,
That's very strong.
androgynous as hell.
I mean, despite its thing as an origin story, I think they did pretty well. I mean, they're 3, 4, 5 years into their MCU by now. I don't think they spent too much time on the "I'm not a superhero yet" part. I think they've seemed to have gotten that bit down. It's like, hey, I'm not a superhero yet, and then they spent a lot more time, showing what's going on and actually getting to the meat of what was going on.
Right. So the basic premise of the story is that a radical faction of monks or sorcerers, they go into a secret compound and they steal some texts out of an ancient book. They're trying to do a ritual that allows them to connect their universe to a dark dimension so that they can have everlasting life and get extra power. The faction is led by a sorcerer named Caecilius, and he is trying to contact the leader of the dark dimension named Dormammu, who has promised him everlasting life and all his followers. But of course, we're talking about an ancient evil entity that has been around since before time. So just how good of a guy can this guy be?
Well, don't forget, and here's a spoiler, a little side note, he also promised him revenge against James Bond. So, I mean, there's that, too, going.
Shh, don't tell him that. Now, on the opposite side of this, you have out of the secret compounds called Klimchok, and the head of that is a sorceress named the Ancient One. And she is the one who basically teaches all the other sorcerers how to access energies from different dimensions and then use them in our world. And that role, again, as I mentioned before, is played by Tilda Swinton. She basically trains these other sorcerers. Then, as the plot entails, you have a brilliant neurosurgeon by the name of Stephen Strange, who is in a terrible car accident, loses use of his hands, spends all his money trying to get use of his hands back, and...
I cried for the car, too. That was a beautiful car.
Oh my god, that was such a beautiful car. I was just absolutely gobsmacked when that thing went to hell. But through the process of going to Kathmandu, going to Klimchok, meeting with the monks, the Ancient One, and Master Mordo...
Don't forget spending his entire vast fortune.
Yeah, absolutely being penniless and spending the last of his money on a one-way ticket to Kathmandu. Now, bear in mind, these are all spoilerific. So he is directed to this compound by a guy in New York City by the name of Jonathan Pangborn. And Pangborn was a paraplegic who suddenly was able to walk again. And, like, how the hell did this happen? So he goes off to Klimchok. They basically tell him, you can use this magic to heal yourself, but it becomes so much more than that.
I mean, that's his driving goal, is to go back and be a doctor again. So that's why he wants to use the magic. And still being a man of science, he has a hard time getting magic to actually work. I mean, he's willing to believe in it, but something keeps holding him back at different points. But eventually...
I'll assume it was the screenwriters, but oh well.
The part I did like is how the Ancient One got him to tap into that energy and open up a portal, was by basically taking him to the top, or taking him up near the summit of Mount Everest and leaving him there to find his own way home. And of course, he had to channel the energy and open up a portal to get him back to Camertage.
Could have summoned a snowboard. That'd have been fun too, but oh well.
Or it could have gone to the secret Cobra base in the North Pole and went into the base where the ice sinks. Oh, wait, sorry. We're talking about a good movie, not a crap movie. So it goes on from there. It does it does like almost a little bit of a montage type of deal where we see him learning, doing his exercises, montage, and doing all these different things.
I also really like the part where he was using that portal once he learned how to steal the books from the library. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty funny because Wong's sitting there listening to Beyonce.
Yeah.
and you see the little portals open up and a book come out, and he turns around, and then he's like looking at one of the books, and then as he turns around, another portal opens up, and he steals the book right in front of him. That was I will admit I laughed out loud on that one. So kind of getting back to the meat of the story, Caecilius and his followers have stolen these pages. They're summoning Dormammu, and they're trying to affect time so that they can live forever. As part of that, what they do is they have to attack different sanctums, and there are different sanctums that are they're places on the planet that act as mystical citadels to protect the Earth from dark magic. They are in New York City, London, and Hong Kong. And basically, Caecilius and his followers set about attacking this. Now, the other thing is, what's kind of cool is that once Stephen Strange kind of gets going with things, he steals an artifact from one of the inner sanctum rooms called the Eye of Agamotto, and it was so funny because he figures out how to use this to affect time. So he does some cool stuff with it, and we won't spoil everything, but it plays into the final stage of the movie, and we'll let you figure it out when you see it. It's pretty cool. But I will give one huge piece of spoiler about that eye, and that is that Wong tells us in the end that it's an Infinity Stone. And like, ooh, a tie-in into the next Avengers movie. Which, by the way, I have to say this, awesome shot of Avengers Tower in the wider New York shot.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was great. I saw it. I'm like, ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
that was
okay.
That was definitely nice.
So here's the big question. Let's go to the second topic. Let's talk about how this is going to tie into the MCU itself. I mean, obviously, we got an Infinity Stone. There was the was it the mid-credit or post-credit with Thor
mid-credit.
reveal? Okay, yeah. The mid-credit with Thor and leading into Thor Ragnarok, basically.
I have to say the mid-credit, the funniest part of the mid-credit scene was the beer. The giant beer. I mean, he had a giant mug of beer, and he goes, because he offers him tea. He goes, no, I don't drink tea or coffee or something like that. He goes, I drink something.
I think it was tea.
He drinks something else now, and he holds up this giant thing of beer, and he drinks it all in one go, and it fills back up. It's just beautiful. I was like, that's totally Thor.
And that definitely threw some things too that weren't really shown in the last Thor movie. I mean, because at this point, last Thor movie, you see that Loki is taken over for Odin. But then the post-credit scene kind of breaks all that.
Well, the mid-credit scene, I mean, he talks about, because we know that part of the Thor Ragnarok central theme is that they end up going and looking for Odin. So at some point they must figure out that Loki has been impersonating Odin.
Well, yeah, but unless I misheard what he said, it sounded like Thor was saying that he and Loki were looking for Odin when he was talking to Strange.
Right, I believe you are correct. And again, I mean, at some point he's probably figured it out, and they'll cover that in Ragnarok. Although, I don't know. Look, we're talking about how this all kind of fits into the greater MCU. I don't know. I didn't like Thor: The Dark World. I really did not like that movie.
I'll see it one of
I
these
actually
years.
fell asleep a number of times during that movie. Kind of like Clash of the Titans. Yeah, I fell asleep during that too. But I'm sure that they'll figure out a way to make it all fit because they do. That's what they do with these movies. I did like the going back to the movie a little bit. I did like the fact that they acknowledged the Avengers. They said that the Avengers protect the world from physical enemies, and the sorcerers protect Earth from mystical enemies.
Which, obviously, once you get the Infinity Gauntlet in play, that's going to be pretty much everything. So, obviously, we've got Thor with a little bit of magic, Strange with a lot of magic, and the rest of the Avengers, no magic, all heading towards this one thing. And then, of course, the Guardians are going to show up. So, I think we've got almost everybody in their starting places for the Infinity War. So, almost.
Now, did they say that was going to be? Did they say that the Infinity Wars was going to be one movie or two? Because I originally thought it was going to be two.
I haven't heard anything since 2 about other than 2. So
I'm hoping that this kind of puts when they finish with the Infinity Wars, that kind of puts the Avengers to bed. I don't want to see 5 Avengers movies. 4 is going to be bad enough. But Captain America: Civil War was kind of a light version of the Avengers.
It seems like a lot of the solo Avengers movies are all tied into Avengers, the overworld, so to speak. I mean, Iron Man movies tie into it. They all seem to just bring in each other. And I'm still wondering how the Civil War is going to go in general. Are they going to try to finish it before the Infinity War? Is it going to be during, after?
That's a good question.
I mean, a lot of these people said they're pretty much done after these next couple movies, so they got to end it all at one point.
That's the other thing is, remember we also got Spider-Man in there as well, Spider-Man: Homecoming. So, and apparently that's going to have Tony Stark in it. So at some point, they're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah, I heard he's willing to do a few show-ups in other movies, but not so much personal Iron Man movies anymore. But he'll show up as Iron Man in other movies.
Yeah.
Look, after Iron Man 3, I'm pretty glad that he's not going to be having any more solo movies.
Yeah. Again, with each character, you can only milk so much out before you're getting into complicated backstories and trying to essentially just churn out episode after episode after episode. That's one advantage that the Netflix series have, is that they can go and explore and take their time with the character rather than trying to cram it into a 2-hour block.
Yeah.
Well, and the good thing is that they also take the care of making sure that those Marvel series that end up on Netflix tie into the MCU. Because otherwise, it ends up something like, DC and all their rubbish, how they kind of just can't seem to make anything fit together.
Yeah. That's probably, to get to our third topic here, that's probably my favorite thing is with the Marvel Universe, you literally have everything tied together into one mega story. You can have a lot of the pieces are separate. The Iron Man movies can exist by themselves more or less, although you have to fit Avengers in between Iron Man 2 and 3. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know who is still watching that besides me.
I am.
And I just gotta,
I'm not
okay.
current with it, but I'm watching it on Netflix as it comes out.
Yeah, I'm in the current season a little bit. But yeah, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously can exist on its own, but has references back to the bigger events of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Daredevil are all setting up to put together something in the future.
And now Punisher's going to have its own series.
Tom Holland signed up for like 3 more Spider-Man movies, and I think
as long as he doesn't go emo, that's all I ask.
I like that they're not doing another origin for him. He's already Spider-Man, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know I'm probably in the minority here, but I really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I liked his movies. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but I think he was a way better Peter Parker and Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire was.
I disagree. Although I will say that there's one aspect of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 that I really like, and that was just how they finally showed that the hero doesn't always win.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. I'll let you know if I ever get around to watching them.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil that for Patrick here. So, but there's
the part about Gwen Stacy snuffing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was spoiling that. I was just spoiling that for fun. If I don't know that spoiler by now, then I deserve to be beaten.
I mean, there was a collective gasp in the theater when that happened, and it was insane.
That was pretty crazy. But I mean, so we're kind of off topic on this one. We just talked about more Marvel stuff. We really want to kind of go back and talk about how the DC universe has really stumbled. I mean, don't get me wrong. With Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, they are starting to get the DC multiverse rolling.
I thought it was called the Dawn of Martha. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Martha! Why'd you say that? Martha! But, okay, now I've completely changed my mind on you. I won't stab you to death.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have our mothers have the same name. Now I won't kill you because it changed everything I believe. But it was a halfway decent start into a DC movie universe because now we got the next Justice League movie coming out. We're gonna have another Batman, another Batfleck movie come out.
I am hurting for that from the stuff that I've seen about that. It hurts because it's now I don't know if it was true, if it's going to be changed, but I mean, his origin is that he's raped by a bat. I mean, come on, seriously?
What? Wait, hang on. What?
I heard this a couple months ago now that Batfleck's origin was that he was raped by a bat.
Wait a minute, didn't we already see his origin though?
Wait.
For the 5 gazillionth time?
Wait, hang on a second.
Hey, there's some pearls!
I don't think they're making like a full-on origin story, but it's like a flashback scene. And I'd heard, and there's something about being raped by a bat. And
look,
I hope it's a joke.
Please let it be a joke because that would be just
freaking stupid.
Yeah, that would be just as bad as Indy getting raped in Peru. Oh wait.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the problem with the DC's movie universe specifically is we had Man of Steel, which was okay, but okay, and then Batman vs Superman, which had its great points in Batfleck, and Wonder Woman. Most of its plot was okay, and then Eisenlex.
Yeah. The overall point we're trying to make here is that DC just isn't really finding its traction the way that Marvel did. I mean, the MCU started off with Iron Man, okay,
and blew it out of the park in the first shot.
Yeah,
boom,
like absolutely, like they just lit a firecracker the size of Candlestick Park, and bam! I mean, it was the whole MCU exploded, and for the most part, it has been one raging success after another. The DC multiverse, not so much. Now we did talk a little bit about the TV series before we started rolling tonight. Those are actually better footings for them. They're better. They've got a better footing than the multiverse does.
Yeah, Flash and Arrow have been going strong. Obviously, Arrow's had some melodramatic seasons, but it's still been good TV and good evolution of character.
It's definitely a darker show than Flash is also.
Yeah. Flash is getting really crazy.
It's a dark show with light moments. Flash is like a light show with dark moments. And I think they complement each other pretty well.
Yep. Supergirl, new edition, pretty cool. They've already gotten season 2. We got a couple episodes with Superman added in. And, of course, the one time Flash ran himself into the universe where Supergirl was and then ran back because why not?
No, because why not?
Just because crossovers.
Right.
Well, I mean,
and we won't even talk about DC's Legends of bullshit. Yep.
Like that's part of I guess the CW thing now, and I know this season is coming soon. Actually, like I won't see it until like next year at this time when they're on Netflix. But I guess there's like 1 week coming up. All 4 of the shows are doing one major crossover story for that week. Like
you mean all 3 shows?
No, all 4. Legends of Tomorrow is still part of it. You may not like it, but it is part of it.
Well, I'd have to remember it's on or care because man. Okay.
Well,
I must admit, I'm with Patrick on that one. I watched the first one or maybe 2 episodes of it. It just couldn't click with it. I like Arthur Darvill as an actor. For those Whovians that are listening, he was Rory for 3 seasons, I think, on Doctor Who. So very, very happy with him as an actor, but meh, just meh.
See, like we were saying earlier too, I think a lot of the issue is how much focus they placed on the Hawks, because I think those are the weakest characters in the show. I think like all the other characters, part of it, they get along well, or at least they complement each other well, and they're different but similar, and I think it just works well. I think the show wouldn't lose anything without the Hawks, except for the whole reason that they have to be there, which is the whole part of at least the first season, which I haven't finished yet. So,
no, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. It's just it's just one of those things where it has its purpose. It's just it doesn't find footing with everybody. And don't get me wrong. I'm not a big fan of Arrow either. I've tried watching it. I've tried getting into it, but I really just haven't found my click with it. I can't really get into it. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not really something that I like to watch.
So it hasn't stuck with you.
Now, if it was DC's Legends Who Gives a Shit, then obviously it sucks. But just
But hey, Lars, at least you gave it a shot.
So did I.
That's it. I'm into this podcast.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea anyway.
Yeah, Jason, you're fired.
Oh.
Can I be fired too?
As long as I can be fired too. Woo! We're all fired. Yay!
Woohoo! Yay! Fired forever.
As much as we love the DC universe, particularly the TV universe, maybe not so much the cinematic multi-universe, whatever they call it.
Please, Wonder Woman, save us!
Yeah, please, Wonder Woman.
Please, Wonder Woman, save us.
That's all the time we have for this episode, which has been fantastic because we're super awesome.
We were fantastic. It should be episode 4.
That's it. You are so fired. I'm Lars Di, the pseudo Kiwi.
I'm the illustrious Patrick M.
And I'm Jason, also known as Awesome Personified.
Oh my god!
Also fired.
Twice!
Be sure to check us out online. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and I think we're even on Instagram.
And Twitch.
Oh yeah, that's right. We are on Twitch as well, at the Red Shirt Geeks.
What about CompuServe?
See you later, folks. Peace.
Red Shirt Geeks!